your brain definitely has these capabilities of being processing in the background,
Right.
doing things reflexively, this whole concept of chunking. So when you're talking about building a new habit, something that's new to you, and creating that neural groove,
Hmm.
it's it's cue, routine, and reward. For me, and a great example was uh, I had realized there was quite a bit of time since I had really sat down and read a book cover to cover. I read tons of articles, and it's so easy on the internet to just read
Sure.
little articles all day and feel
Little
like, oh, I've
nuggets.
read something.
Yeah.
But to take someone's entire book, and so someone had gifted me a book that I would have been interested in. I'm like, oh, when am I going to find time to read this? And I realized it's a 300-page book. Um, I'd like to finish it this month. There's 30 days in the month. If I do 10 pages a day, I'll have read this book,
Hmm.
and I'll feel good about reading that book. But I didn't have a cue. And so what I did was I plopped it down on the kitchen table. And my cue was, I know every day I'm going to breakfast. It doesn't look like I've missed too many breakfasts, right? So I sat at the breakfast table, and boom, there's the book. And that was my cue of, oh, that's right. I'm going to read
10
10
pages.
pages.
Yeah.
And then
What
pretty
was your
soon,
reward?
I had a couple rewards, and they differ for everybody. For me, one of the rewards in a silly way was seeing the bookmark make progress through the book.
Mm.
Every day I'd show up and, oh, that bookmark is, I'm a third of the
Further
way
out.
through
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
And and I'm on track. I'm 10 days. And then so I kept plowing through the book, and the book was interesting anyway.
Hmm.
There were some days where it's like, let's see, John won't be in till 9:15. Oh, yeah, let me write. I'll go 15 pages today. And sure enough, by the end of the month, just those little daily micro goals, and I get in a habit where as soon as that book was done, it's like I got to find another book.
Yeah. Because
So that
because then your habit's set, and then you're like, what do I do now?
And then one of the rewards, I think, for reading in particular is all of a sudden you've read something, you've increased your knowledge, and you have some social currency. So the next conversation you have, hey, have you read the new blah, 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 whatever it is.
And
So,
there's a lot of interesting things you can share with people, and
yeah,
that's rewarding.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. And then if it's something that's entertaining besides, then there's some joy in that as well. So there's a lot of different rewards. One of the things that's rewarding for me, in a lot of cases, is competition.
Mhm. So
Whatever task we're doing, if I have a habit and I have competitors, that's a whole different level. It's satisfying to see my score on a tally, and see it near the top as
Mhm.
opposed to near the bottom. So
Mhm.
I know that's one of the rewards. If you can build competition into my reward system, that's a habit I'm probably developing.
That's cool.
But anyway,
Do you
that
think
cue,
it takes 21 days, or they've said it takes 21 days to make a habit?
I would say this. I've heard the best research I've read implied that it's a little bit longer, that a typical habit, especially one that doesn't have a big reward
Mhm.
system, where the reward might be improved self-esteem or something that's a little
Sure.
longer fuse. 66 days is the number I see coming out of studies.
Mhm.
But I always caveat that answer with this. It depends on the habit you're forming. And we talked about three pieces in habits already: cue, routine, and reward.
Mhm.
And remind me to tell you about phobias, because I want to tell you how that
Okay.
process breaks. The routine process can break. But in the cue, routine, and reward cycle, there's a fourth component that will hardwire a habit so hard that it'll make it shake. And if it's a good habit, great. If it's a bad habit, God help you. But it's cravings.
Mm.
And
Is that is that like food, maybe addiction, drugs, stuff like that, or?
in theory, it could be anything, but the craving happens as a reinforcement to the reward. So if the reward is so pleasurable, and it doesn't have to be pleasure as in physical pleasure. But one of the dangerous ones we could talk about would be chemical dependency.
Mm-hmm.
So you were asking earlier, the reason I'm prompted down this pathway, you were asking about how long does it take to form a habit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're if you have an addictive personality and you take a lot of pleasure from the feeling that a drug would give you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm told, I hear a
Be
lot of
quick.
people,
Yeah.
yeah, if someone's trying heroin,
1 time, 2 times. Yeah.
yeah, then it's like, and the component that we hadn't talked about before, this craving, where that reward was so good, I can't wait until I have it again. So I start to desire that.
Mm.
And then as soon as a cue permits me to do it, I'll go right back into that routine and get that reward again.
Mm.
And that cycle can become so fast that you never have time to get straight again.